Welcome to our Integrated Science Intervention Program for SHS. Today in Integrated Science, we will be looking at management practices in animal production. I will be your facilitator. My name is Rhoda Ajwa Bonnie. You agree with me that living things have some things in common. Let me ask you, what are some characteristics of living things? Good. You might have written nutrition, sensitivity, reproduction, growth, and development. Human beings need food in order to grow and to stay healthy. Farm animals like rabbits also need food in order to grow and to stay healthy. This brings our topic for today, feeding in rabbits. Now, what are we looking at in our lesson today? We are learning to state the types of feed for rabbits and give examples. We'll describe feeding in rabbits, define psychotrophy, and we'll state two importance of psychotrophy. How are we going about with our lesson for today? First of all, we'll discuss the types of feed. Then we'll look at feeding in rabbits. We'll give explanation to psychotrophy and we'll state the importance of psychotrophy. Now, these are the key words that we'll be meeting in our lesson: ad libitum, pellet, Amaranthus hybridus, nocturna, and psychotroph. Now let's look at the types of feed. Feed types for rabbits can be put into three groups. We have forage, agro-industrial waste as feed, and concentrates. Now let's look at the forage. Forage can either be fresh or dry. Examples of forage include rabbit's weed, Amaranthus hybridus, guinea grass, water leaf, tridus, and then we also have groundnut leaves, centrosema, discarded lettuce, and cabbage leaves. Interestingly, water leaf, commonly known as boko boko, is now being sold at the market. The vegetable sellers, if you go to them, either they will sell it to you, or maybe you can even look around and get some. You wash it nicely, you use it to feed your rabbits. The guinea grass, mostly, they are all around, you will get some. Tridus, children play with it. They will move the top, the yellowish part, and then they will throw it away. You can use that one also to feed the rabbit. For the discarded lettuce and cabbage leaves, the vegetable sellers most of the times find it difficult to dispose it of. So what can you do? You go to them, you ask, they will give it to you. When you bring it home, you wash it nicely and you can use it to feed your rabbits. Now let's look at the agro-industrial waste that we can also use to feed our rabbits. We have the wheat bran, the groundnut cake, copra cake, brewer's smut. Now, the brewer's smut, you can use pito mash. Those that prepare pito, go to them, ask them to give you the waste. You use that one and then you feed your rabbits with it. All these are cheap feed that we can use to feed our rabbits. Now let's come to the third one, the concentrates. One might ask, what is a concentrate? It is an incomplete feed which contains energy, protein, premise, and other feed additives. Examples of concentrates include protein concentrates and carbohydrate concentrates. Don't forget, I said concentrates are incomplete feed which contains energy, protein, premix, and other feed additives, which means in using it to feed your rabbit, you don't have to use that one alone. You can mix it with either the wheat bran or the pito mash and give it to your rabbit. Now, having known the feed types that we can give to rabbits, let's look at the feeding. How do we feed rabbits? Interestingly, rabbit feeding should be done early in the morning and in the evening on regular basis. You don't have to feed them today 7 o'clock, tomorrow 10, the next day in the afternoon. No. There should be some form of consistency in it. So early in the morning and in the evening. Rabbits are nocturnal animals, so they should be fed ad libitum. Now they are active in the night. That is why we are saying that they are nocturnal animals. So the feed should be easily available. They should get access to the feed so that in the night when they are moving about, they can easily feed on whatever you've provided for them. There's also another thing. They should be allowed to eat their sika pellets. Now, these sika pellets are soft feces. That is good for the rabbit. So you need to allow the rabbit, it should get access to it to feed on it. Also, adequate fresh and clean water should always be available. You know, water aids in digestion. So as they eat, they should get water and drink so that digestion will take place easily for them. Now, you know, I talk about they being allowed to take their sika pellets. Let's watch this video on rabbits enjoying the soft feces known as the psychotropes.
Hey bunny lovers, were you as confused as me when you saw your bunny do this for the first time? Were you like, why is she eating her poop? Is she sick? Or is something going on? Is this normal rabbit behavior? Well, you've come to the right place to learn more about psychotropes. First and foremost, psychotropes aren't poop. Surprising, right? They come out of the poop hole, so you would think they'd be poop, but really, they're not. They are actually a soft, sticky Cocoa Puff made by your bunny for your bunny. Normal psychotropes are usually dark brown and pungent. They also appear in little clusters like grapes, but somewhat squished. Your rabbit may prefer to eat them as she makes them, or save them for later in her litter box. Psychotropes are made in the cecum by bacteria and fungi, which live in symbiosis with your rabbit.
Welcome back. You saw how the rabbit was enjoying its feed. Now, this brings us to our next topic, psychotrophy. What is it? Psychotrophy. It is the eating of the fecal-like pellets produced in the cecum of rabbits. Now, rabbits take grass, and because of that, most people think that they are ruminants. Rabbits are not ruminants. They don't have 4 chambers. They have only one stomach, so they are monogastric. After they've taken in the food, and the food has digested in the small intestine, the nutrients will be absorbed. However, the undigested part moves into the large intestine. There is a portion, the large intestine, known as the cecum. The undigested food moves into the cecum and comes out in a form like droppings. Now, these droppings are what's referred to as the psychotropes. And we are saying that they are supposed to eat it back. We can also say that psychotrophy is the ingestion of cecal feces for nutritional purpose. So that food did not digest. However, it has some nutrients, so it has to go back for the rabbit to take it back. These cecal feces, they are soft in nature, so they are also known as soft feces. And the cecotrophs, or the soft feces, are high in crude protein and low in crude fiber. Cecotrophy interestingly starts when the animal is about 4 weeks old, and mostly it takes place when the animal is on the step, often at night. So during that time, the feces will come, then the animal can take it back. Nobody disturbs it around that period. Now, what are the importance? Recycles unabsorbed nutrients. So the nutrients that the animal did not get, the undigested feed that came out, it has to go back. As it goes back into the system, the animal is able to get the nutrients back. It also retains protein and vitamin B rich bacteria for enzyme digestion in the small intestine. Cecotrophy provides up to 20% of daily protein requirements of the rabbit. Now, let's look at what we've done so far. Take your jotter and attempt these questions. 1. What are some feed types for rabbits? What is cecotrophy? And state 2 importance of cecotrophy. Now, I'm sure you've written that for the feed, we have forage, we have agro-industrial waste, and then we also have concentrates. For cecotrophy, maybe you jotted it that it is the undigested feed that will go back into the system for the animal to get the nutrients that it might have lost. And for the importance, the nutrients that would have lost goes back, and then the animal enjoy it. All too soon, we have come to the end of our lesson for today. Now let's try and then put everything together. So what have we learned? We've seen that rabbits depend on a wide range of feed, which are less costly and readily available. We've also come to realize that they should be fed ad libitum, and also adequate fresh and clean water should always be available for them to drink. Finally, they should be allowed to eat back the cecotrophs, that's the soft feces, since it will make it possible for them to get back protein and vitamin B rich bacteria to aid in digestion. Our topic for next lesson will be breeding in rabbits. Thank you and bye-bye.